Hey, Skol Nation. What's up, my fellow Vikings faithful? You know that sinking feeling after a tough loss? Like the one we just ate against the Eagles in Week 7? Well, grab your purple jerseys because today on Vikings News, we're diving headfirst into the silver lining that's got me fired up. The positive injury updates that could turn our season around faster than Justin Jefferson burning a DB for a 70-yard score. Imagine this. After weeks of brutal hits sidelining our stars, Coach Kevin O'Connell drops a nugget in his presser that screams hope. Only 2 guys dinged up, and they're the kind we can bounce back from. But hold up. Is this the reset we need before we jet off to face Jim Harbaugh's Chargers on Thursday Night Football? Stick with me because if these updates hold, our run game might just roar back to life, and I've got the stats and stories to prove why you should be hyped. Who's ready to skol through the pain? Let's break it down Vikings style. After that heartbreaking 28-22 defeat to the Eagles at US Bank Stadium, where Carson Wentz slung for 285 yards but coughed up 2 picks, we're sitting at 3-3, dead last in the NFC North, but breathing easier than we have in months. Kevin O'Connell, our wizard of a head coach, steps up to the media mic still buzzing from the game's chaos, and in a blink-and-you-miss-it moment, he lays it out. Injury updates. Just Zadarius Scott and C.J. Ham. Zadarius had a right wrist and C.J. had a left hand. Those guys will be evaluated. Boom, only 2 ailments from a bloodbath of a game where we sacked Jalen Hurts 3 times and forced a fumble. Compare that to the nightmare fuel of early season, when we lost Blake Cashman to a hamstring tear in Week 1, Ty Chandler to IR right after, and Aaron Jones shuffling on and off like a bad dream. This is progress, purple blood. And let's pump the brakes on panic mode, because these aren't career-enders like the concussions that hammered Ryan Kelly twice in the first 5 weeks or Andrew Van Ginkel's nagging issues that kept him in and out. A wrist for Scott, our promising rookie runner with that 4.5 speed and soft hands. He's the guy who exploded for 85 yards on 12 carries in preseason, showing he can spell Aaron Jones without missing a beat. C.J. Ham, our Swiss Army knife fullback, rugged as they come with 28 catches last year and blocks that spring our backs free. His hand tweak is the stuff players grind through, not sit out. O'Connell's tone? Cautiously optimistic, like he's already mapping how we lean on Jordan Mason Moore. Mason, who's averaging 4.8 yards per pop and could feast if Jones returns from his calf strain. Stats don't lie. Teams with healthy fullbacks like Ham win 62% of their games, per NFL data. So, yeah, Vikings fans, this is the breather we've craved. What do you think? Can Scott suit up and surprise us? Now, picture the ripple effect as we pivot to survival mode on a short week, staring down a cross-country flight to SoFi Stadium for TNF against the Chargers, who just got smoked 38-24 by the Colts but still boast Justin Herbert's cannon arm. Losing Scott could crimp our ground attack. We're already 22nd in rushing at 98 yards per game. But if he heals quick, pairing him with Jones, eligible to return, dropping 112 yards in his last full outing, turns headache into highlight reel. Ham's versatility? Priceless. He's cleared lanes for 15 TDs over 3 years, and without him, our O-line's exposed like last week's red zone woes where we settled for field goals 6 times. But here's the storyteller in me. Remember Week 3 against the Bengals? Van Ginkel's back-to-back sacks off the bench flipped the script. We won 24-17. These minor dings? They're plot twists, not tragedies. Building suspense for a Thursday bounce-back where our D, ranked top 10 in points allowed at 20 per game, could feast on Herbert's 3 INTs this month. Who's with me? Will this lighter injury load spark a Skol explosion? Teasing the urgency here because at 3-3 with the Lions and Packers lurking, every snap counts, and O'Connell's preaching reset like it's gospel. We've clawed from worse, think 2022's 1-4 start to playoff push, but this positive shift feels like destiny. Scott's silky mitts snagged a 2-point conversion last preseason. Imagine him threading runs behind Ham's blocks. Recent trends scream good vibes. Our last 3 games with under 3 injuries? 2-1 record, averaging 27 points. Hovering over the NFC North basement amps the drama. Do we surge or stumble? Drop your hot takes below. Ham back by kickoff? Let's keep the energy rolling into the next beat. Shifting gears to the man under center because if injuries are our green light, The QB carousels got red flags waving wild after Wentz's gritty performance against Philly. 285 yards, sure, but those 2 picks stung like frostbite in January at Lambeau. O'Connell, ever the strategist, fields the Week 8 starter question with that classic coach coyness. Gotta see how Wentz comes out health-wise. He had to use his legs there a couple times on the last drive. We'll see how he turns over. Translation: Wentz's non-throwing shoulders barking from scrambling on that final Eagles drive, where he evaded 2 blitzes but took a helmet-to-shoulder thud. The guy's a warrior, started 94 of 98 career games, MVP buzz in 2017, but at 32 with 5 teams on his resume, he's not invincible. Vikings news alert: ESPN's Adam Schefter's buzzing that Wentz is likely for Thursday, but that shoulders limited him in early Week 8 practices already. Fans, does this scream turnover city against Harbaugh's D, or redemption arc? Layer in the rookie intrigue because Max Brosmer, our undrafted Gopher gem who's been slinging scout team dimes like it's college again, was ready to go per KOC, backing up Wentz while J.J. McCarthy suited as emergency QB3, still ramping from that high ankle sprain that's nixed 20 of his first 22 NFL games. Brosmer's no joke. Edged McCarthy by 2 years as the youngest projected starter in preseason, and his fast and furious intros paid off with poise. 4 regular season passes, 0 picks, and O'Connell's raving about his smarts mirroring Wentz's vet savvy. But McCarthy? The kid's progression is electric when healthy. His bye-week reps had him at 75% completion in limited drills. O'Connell drops, on a short week, we're going to put together the best plan we can, hinting at a menu tweak. Maybe quicker releases to shield Wentz's shoulder, or Brosmer's legs if Herbert's pass rush, top 5 sacks, comes hunting. Stats bite. QBs with shoulder tweaks average 15% more INTs short-term. What's your call, Skol Squad? Stick with Wentz's grit or fast-track JJ? This QB saga's pure Vikings drama, echoing the 2017 NFC champ run where Case Keenum sparked magic before bridges burned. Now Wentz is holding the fort, but whispers of McCarthy Week 9 versus Detroit have me salivating. Brosmer's the wild card. That kneel down in London versus the Browns showed ice in his veins. And if Wentz falters early Thursday, handing reins to the local hero could flip SoFi into a purple party. O'Connell's comfort level? Sky high, calling the room complete with Wentz's navigation and Brosmer's prep. Recent comp. Teams rotating QBs mid-short week win 55% when the vet's nicked. Urgency's thick. Chargers' Jesse Minter schemed 38 points allowed last week, but our secondary's opportunistic. Tease this. If Wentz turns it over twice more, does Brosmer steal the show? Hit the comments. What's your dream depth chart? Zooming out to the big picture, because at 3-3 and basement dwelling in the NFC North, there's zero panic but all the fire. O'Connell's sure to hammer urgency like a Viking raid, preaching that reset we desperately need before wheels up to Cali. We've got the pieces. D-line's feasted with 22 sacks through 7 weeks. Justin Jefferson's WR1 locked, 85 catches, 1,200 yards pace. And that run game's itching to hit 120 yards per outing with Jones back. But short weeks are brutal. Teams travel cross-country on TNF win just 42% historically. And Harbaugh's Chargers, despite their skid, 3 losses in 4, Herbert's 420-yard dud with 2 picks, lurk with Khalil Mack's edge rush that could exploit Wentz's mobility dip. Vikings news scoop. Our O-lines allowed only 12 sacks all year, but Ham's hand could test that. Fans, feel the pulse. Last place sting or divisional surge. Story time. Flash to 2022. Down 3-4 after a Lions gut punch, we rattled off 6 straight. Kirk Cousins carving like a Thanksgiving turkey. Now, same hunger, amplified by KOC's 68% win rate in bounce-back spots. Stats fuel the faith. Post-loss TNF games were 2-1 under O'Connell, averaging 28 points. The North's a meat grinder. Packers at 5-2, Bears nipping. But a Chargers W catapults us to .500, breathing down Detroit's neck. Injuries light? Check. QB options? Loaded. It's thriller setup? Will Scott's wrist wrap tight enough for burst cuts? Or do we force-feed Mason's power? 4.8 YPC. O'Connell's vibe? Locked in, eyes on the prize. What's brewing in your gut? Road Warriors or reality check? Let's unpack the stakes next. Hanging on every eval like it's Game 7 of the playoffs. Because Thursday's date with Destiny at SoFi isn't just a game. It's a statement. With our run game's fate dangling like a fourth-quarter onside kick. Scott's wrist? If it's minor, like Van Ginkel's quick neck turnaround last month, we're golden. The rookie size, 6 feet 1 inch, 225, and vision scream Aaron Jones 2.0, especially with Jones cleared, boosting us to 118 rush YPG potential. Ham's hand? He's the glue, 28 receptions last year, plus blocks springing 15 TDs. Without him, our fullback void echoes the 2021 skid when we dipped to 85 YPG on ground. But positives abound. Recent injury trends show wrist/hand tweaks sidelining guys just 1.2 games on average per PFF. Chargers run D, gassed after yielding 180 to Indy. Our shot to pound the rock and control clock, easing Wentz's shoulder load. Skol faithful envision it. 150 rush yards. Herbert sidelined. Purple confetti in the desert. Or nightmare. Diminished attack, Herbert carves for 300. Which timeline we scripting? Weaving in the broader reset, O'Connell's masterclass in momentum post-Eagles chat, he's mapping flights, film, and feels, turning loss into launchpad. Remember Week 2's Falcons flop? We rebounded with 31 on Cincy. Now, urgency's our ally. 3-3 squads with light injuries win 58% of next games. NFL analytics say. NFC North Heat? Lions lead by 2, but our tiebreaker edge, head-to-head pending, keeps hope alive. Tease the travel toll, cross-country TNF fatigue drops visitor wins to 38%, but our D's Road Warriors holding foes to 18 PPG away. Scott and Ham? Their eval Tuesday could dictate play calling. More Mason power if out, or Jones-Scott lightning if in. Fans, I'm buzzing. What's the bold prediction for our ground game Thursday? Spill it below. Your voice amps the hype. Suspense peaks as we eye that TNF whistle, because this Chargers clash isn't filler. It's fuel for a purple resurgence, where minor miracles like Scott's grit and Ham's toughness could rewrite our narrative from underdogs to dominators. Harbaugh's squad's vulnerable, 38 points hemorrhaged last week. Secondary torched for 300 air yards. But Max Blitz's test our resolve. Yet, our edge? Depth reborn. Cashman's hamstring return looming? Questionable. But O'Connell's bullish. Batty's knee activation imminent per Vikings.com. Story arc complete. From early season IR graveyard, Chandler, Jones, Okudera's stints, to this lean list, we're leaner, meaner, primed for 4-3 glory. Stats seal it. Healthy run units post-loss win 65% on short weeks. What's your Skol chant for SoFi? Pound the rock or air it out? Let's build to the QB cliffhanger next. Circling back to the signal caller spotlight, because as Scott and Ham mend, Wentz's shoulder saga steals the show. O'Connell's, we'll see how he turns over lines got me pacing like pre-kickoff jitters, especially with Brosmer primed and McCarthy simmering. Wentz battled, no doubt. Evading sacks, hitting JJ for that 45-yard laser, but those picks? Costly, dropping his Week 7 rating to 82.4, and that non-throwing shoulder tweak, limited in Monday's walkthrough, echoes his London exit versus Browns, where he sat half the game. Schefter's intel. Expect Wentz Thursday, but McCarthy's chance Week 9 versus Lions has purple pulses racing. The rookie's ankles at 80% per reports, his bye reps crisp. Brosmer. O'Connell's ready stamp means the UDFA's no afterthought. His scout team mastery mirrors Keenum's 17 spark. Vikings news flash. QBs with shoulder dings start 72% of short week games but turn over 1.4x more. Drama dialed, who starts and does it ignite a fire or fizzle? Narrating the nightmare to dream pivot, this QB room's a powder keg of potential. Wentz's vet poise, 3 TDs versus Philly, versus McCarthy's upside, pre-injury 68% completion. With Brosmer's wildcard hunger, 0 preseason picks. O'Connell's plan? Fluid, like his zone-blocking schemes. Quick drops to dodge hits. Leaning on Oyefami's protection. League low 12 sacks allowed. Recent ripple, post-injury rotations win 55%, but our 2-2 Wentz mark screams stability. Until it doesn't. Tease the turnover terror. Another 2 picks Thursday, and fan forums explode for JJ Chargers Minter? Blitz heavy, sacking QBs 3.2 times per game lately. Wentz's legs saved us Sunday, but shoulder says slide. Fans, heart-pounding question. Bench Wentz mid-game for Brosmer magic? Your thoughts could predict the pick six. This carousel's the heartbeat of our hype, fueling fantasies of McCarthy's triumphant return slinging to Jefferson for NFC North chaos, or Brosmer's Cinderella debut torching SoFi like his Gopher days. O'Connell's trust in the trio? Complete room per his words. Wentz mentors, Brosmer learns, JJ heals. Stats story. Rookie QBs in relief win 48% but spark 22% comeback victories. Urgency underscores it all. 3-3 limbo demands decisiveness, or Harbaugh feasts. Building suspense. If Wentz is healthy but hot-handed, does KOC pull the ripcord? Drop your dream scenario in comments. Let's co-write this thriller, broadening the lens to our NFC North nightmare turned dream chase, because at 3-3, last place bites, but O'Connell's urgency sermon, preached post-Eagles like a war cry, ignites the fire we need to torch the division doubters. Lions at 5-2, Packers humming, Bears lurking. We've been here. 2023's midseason rut to 7-10 grit. Now, light injuries mean full throttle. Our D's top 10, 20 PPG allowed. Oh, at 25.3 home but road ready at 23. Vikings news nugget. Post-loss urgency boosts win probability 15%, per advanced metrics. Chargers preview. Their skid, 3-4, 30.7 PPG allowed last 3, screams upset bait. But Herbert's 420-yard bomb last week warns of traps. Skol squad. Feel the fight. Jones return eligibility? Game changer. His 4.6 YPC history. What's the divisional domino if we snag 4-3? Spill your bold North take. Storytelling the surge. Imagine boarding that Cali flight not defeated, but defiant. O'Connell's reset echoing his 2022 magic, where bye-week tweaks flipped 1-4 to playoffs. Urgency's our edge. Short week road dogs cover 52% spreads, and we're +3 underdogs per FanDuel, with models giving Chargers 59%, but us 41% upset juice. Recent proof. Eagles loss? We responded with 24 on Bengals. North stakes? A W vaults us to second wildcard hunt. Breathing fire on Detroit. Tease the trenches. Our O-line's health, Jackson's wrist surgery behind us, versus Max Fury. Win there, control game. Fans, pulse check. Panic or plot twist. Your energy's the spark. Let's amp to the finale. Wrapping the urgency wrap-up, this 3-3 perch is purgatory with promise. O'Connell's preach turning pain to purpose, as we eye Chargers not as roadblock, but runway to relevance. Division's a battlefield, but our scars, Cashman's return, Van Ginkel's reps, steal us stronger. Stats sing. Urgency-fueled teams post-loss hit 60% win clip. SoFi showdown? Harbaugh's rebuild reeks rebound, but our balanced attack 45.8 combined PPG pace, tip scales. Final tease. Victory here and North narrative flips, Skol echoing from Minneapolis to Motown. What's your urgency oath? Comments await. As the dust settles on evaluations, eyes lock on Scott and Ham like hawks on prey. We'll wrist and hand hold, unleashing our run game's inner beast against a Chargers front that sprung leaks. 180 rush yards conceded last week. Scott's promise? Electric, preseason burst mirroring Jones' vet savvy, potentially hitting 100 combined yards duo style. Ham? His absence? A 10% efficiency dip per PFF, but minor means Monday mend. Vikings news update. Eval reports Tuesday hint positives, with O'Connell's optimism vibe strong. Drama drips. If cleared, 120 YPG ground assault. If not, Mason's hammer time. Fans, envision the thunder, your call on run revival? Cliffhanger crafting. This eval Eve's electric. Early woes. Chandler's IR exile. Behind. Now hope's horizon. Story swerve. Like O'Neill's quick subtract add post-injury, Scott/Ham could catalyze comeback, boosting red zone trips, 6 chances, 1 TD last week, Unacceptable. T's TNF tempo. Chargers short week prep favors fresh legs. Ours? Battle-tested. Stat suspense. Minor injury teams rush 15% better post-eval. What's the gut on green lights? Hit reply, your insight ignites. Eval anticipations the eve of battle buzz. Where Scott's silky stride and Ham's hustle could crown our reset, turning Chargers clash into conquest. O'Connell's watch, methodical, mirroring his 70% short week success. Final thread. Light dings equals heavy lifts ahead. Skol to the verdict. QB quandary crescendo, with Wentz's shoulder screaming caution amid Brosmer's buzz and McCarthy's murmur. O'Connell's coy best plan veils a vortex of choices, as Thursday's shadow looms large. Wentz's grit, undeniable, 4 straight starts, 2-2 record, but picks pile, 5 in 3 games, and hits accumulate, shoulder non-thrower but scrambler saver. Brosmer's beacon, ready, says KOC, his gopher grit, 68% college comp. Whispering starter whispers if Wentz wobbles. McCarthy, ankle ascent, emergency roll hinting week 9 glory. Vikings news pulse. Schefter's Wentz lean, but Zulgad's Brosmer bold. Turnover tease. Shoulder QBs on 1.4x. Chargers bait? Fans, starter showdown, who you got? Narrative nexus. This QB knot ties our tail tight. Wentz's warrior path. MVP 17 echoes. Versus youth's yearning. O'Connell orchestrating like a maestro. Suspense spike. Mid-game swap if picks pop. Recent ripple. Rotations rebound 55%. Tease the throwdown, Herbert's heat meets our helix. Your QB quest? Comment chaos. QB climax crests. Balancing Wentz's weathered wisdom with Brosmer's bold blank slate and JJ's justified jump. Decision dawn breaks Thursday. Scripting Skol symphony or stutter. O'Connell's oracle? Trust tested. Final flourish. Depth's our dagger. What's the call? NFC North narrative nexus. Where 3-3 limbo ignites O'Connell's urgency inferno. Last place label? Launchpad, not leash, as Lions lead 2 games. Tempts the takedown with Chargers conquest. We've thrived in thorns. 2022's rut to rally. Vikings news vibe. Urgency ups win odds 15%. Division duel? WNet's wildcard whisper. North neck and neck. Tease the throne. Packers falter, we feast. Fans, North narrative, your spin? Story summit, urgency's undercurrent surges our saga. From basement blues to breakout blue sky, O'Connell channeling 22 fire. Suspense summit, 4-3 flips script. Stats surge, bounce backs blaze 60%. Your North Star? Reply roar, urgency's ultimate, forging 3-3 fire into NFC forge. O'Connell's clarion call crowns our charge. Basement to balcony beckoning. Tease triumph. Skol supremacy. Final fire. Fans fuel it. Thursday night thriller tease, where SoFi's spotlight awaits our surge. Light injuries. QB quandary. North nudge converging in Harbaugh havoc. As Scott/Ham heal and Wentz wills through woe. Chargers chink. Exposed. 38 surrendered. Our arsenal armed. D's devour. Run revs. Air assaults. Vikings news verdict. 41% upset per models. But purple passion tips 50-50. Story seal. Road roar or rumble. Fans, TNF tale, your twist? Suspense symphony. This TNF tango twirls tension. Cross-country crusade. Short week spark. Destiny's dance. Tease the triumph. 120 rush. 0 picks. Skol storm. Stats siren. Visitors victorious 38%. But us? Unyielding. Your TNF torch? Comment crescendo. TNF tantalize culminates. Scripting SoFi saga from setback to spectacle. Our Viking valor versus Charger chaos, urgency unleashed. Final flare. Purple prevails. Wrapping this Vikings whirlwind, Skol nation. What a ride from Eagles ache to injury uplift and QB quest. All priming that TNF thunder. We've unpacked the positives, the pivots, the pure purple potential. Now it's your turn to roar. If this fired you up, smash that like button harder than Brian O'Neill pancaking a DE. Drop your hottest take on Wentz versus Brosmer in the comments. Who starts Thursday? Subscribe for daily doses of Vikings news to never miss a beat, and share this with your fellow faithful so we pack the bandwagon. Until next time, keep the faith. Skol Vikings.